Where do we start then? So if I get that phone call and people listening will be saying, you know, I'd like to sell my house to my child as I move out and into a smaller home and give them a starting point. Where do you start? Do you sit with an accountant first and say, thinking of doing this, or is it an estate planning situation or tag team? Where do you start?
I think it's both. I think it's the real estate attorney can set up how the transaction is going to work with the lender, right? You know, Tony's going to say, all right, ideally, we'd want to set the true price at 7 so that they only have to borrow 5 and there's no PMI. The house is worth $1 million. All right, how do we get to that 7?
Got it.
You know, and structure it maybe as a gift of equity.
Yeah.
But then they've got to work with someone like Jimmy to document that gift of equity by filing that gift tax return so that the parents are not getting hit with that, you know, added cost. The kids are getting the step-up basis and everything's properly documented after the transaction occurs. So I think it's probably takes all 3 parties to kind of work together, maybe before the closing's consummated.
You know, I would say the same thing. If you had an estate planning before ahead of time, so all these parties are involved already. But if you're coming to start the transaction without an estate planning, okay, then you're gonna have to make kind of, like you say, quick mini estate planning. But you still have to bring all these parties into the game to be able to ensure like all your steps are correct and documented properly for the future.